Good morning. Good morning. Rise and shine. It is Green Nurse Michele and Sherri time. Welcome to the Green Nurse podcast, where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing. We have a little surprise for you this morning. Here we go.
We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis.
Hello. Welcome. I don't know what's going on here. We've been having some really major technical difficulties. So I don't even know. Can you hear me or see me?
I can hear you.
All right. So I'm gonna let you take it, Michele. I'm just kidding. Let's try this one more time. Hold on.
Agnostic for many years. And the more research I did, the more I discovered the cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
Well, we're still having a little technical difficulties, but technical difficulties. So good morning, everyone. I'm not sure. Michele, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. The timing's just a little off.
The timing's a little off. Okay, yeah. So we've worked on this a little bit. We'll just do the best we can with what we have right here, right now. And at least you can see Michele, and I just look like a puppet, but that's okay. You can hear me. So here we are, rise and shine. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Here we are as nurses talking about cannabis. We're here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. That H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing, like we say every single morning. It's truly a gift to have another day, especially when you didn't think you were going to have one. So, what are we doing here? Michele, we were talking about, holistic caring and the Green Nurse. We've all come together, East meets West. And, we were thinking what does this really mean? Well, what we're doing is we're helping each other to grow in health personally and professionally. Right. So grow your health. And then it made me think of, okay, how can we make this about cannabis? All right. Well, very similar to gardening, right? The parallel of gardening to self-care. And when we tend to our gardens, we need to look at our body. Is the biggest giant garden there is. There's more universes and science experiments happening inside of our bodies than anywhere else. And so if we do have a beautiful garden, we need to look at our bodies as being the same and to take care of them. So how are you taking care of your garden, Michele?
Lots of sleep.
Sleep.
This particular week, I'm working on nutrition. So nutrition's big. Trying to do lots of, fresh stuff, fruits, vegetables, whole grains. Trying to cut back on anything processed, like anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds like a plan, and that's going to lead into today's topic. So for our new viewers, Michele, would you please introduce yourself to everyone and let everyone know where you're from and what you do in the cannabis space as a nurse and a green nurse?
Right. So I'm Michele Morris. I live right near Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I am a green nurse doing consults, and I also still work at the bedside as a nurse. And primarily I've done a lot of things in my career, but I'm in the pre and post surgical area right now, and I'm going to be transitioning back into pain management outpatient. So I'm excited to start doing that soon. I do some other things on the side. I do some nonprofit animal rescue work as well. Um, lots of I'm in service pretty much with everything everything that I do, and I love it. So it's that much more important to take care of myself.
Yes, it is. And Michele, you make a really good point too, is when when you serve others, it's important to serve yourself first. I hear you say that all the time, is about we can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. Fill your cup first.
Fill your cup first. So I really, really like the topic today. Today is Tidbit Tuesday, Terpene Tuesday. And it just leads into some of the things that we were talking about how we're going to improve our health with nutrition. Terpenes are a huge component of the plant. Michelle's going to talk a little bit about some of the products that she carries that are terpene boosters and what that actually means. But terpenes are organic compounds that produce the specific smells and the tastes of the plant. And they're found in cannabis, essential oils, plants, trees, and all kinds of different foods. And so in cannabis, the terpenes is what ward off the attacks from insects, animals, fungus. And this usually happens during the growth cycle of the plant. So when the cannabis plant goes through the curation process at the end of cultivation, the terpenes become oxidized, resulting in what we know as terpenoids. And when you think about what is oxidized means, is more oxygen hitting it, right?
Mhm.
And it starts to evolve the terpenes and even the cannabinoids even more. Terpenes contribute to the entourage effect, and they have their own healing properties. And so the entourage effect states that utilizing cannabinoids and terpenes together produces a more potent medicinal effect rather than using the isolated compounds alone.
Right.
So another way of saying that is the whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts.
Right.
And Michele, what has been your experience with terpenes?
Definitely can be used to accentuate whatever issue you're looking to address with
Right.
your cannabis. Absolutely. And it's fun, and it can make it a little different and keep it interesting.
It is. And I can just give you an experience, did this terpene infused THC honey this weekend.
Mm,
And it was on breakfast.
can't wait to get
This
that.
beautiful parfait, yes, with fruit and yogurt and granola. And there was this it was terpene infused, and it was limonene infused honey. And it definitely, I felt a little bit happier, a little bit gigglier. It was definitely very, very, very uplifting. So it was nice for breakfast. And then we had a nice cup of coffee, a little bit of CBD. So we had this whole experience utilizing the terpenes with the breakfast. So it was really, really kind of cool. How do you use them? How do you use terpenes?
Actually the company that I share has different products with only terpenes. So they're without CBD.
Yep.
So it's kind of like you can just kind of play around with it for people that are a little afraid of CBD. But we even have these new drink powders that are super clean, and they're filled with terpenes for health. I mean, so I've been using those daily, at least those daily. And then I used different boost products as well with my CBD.
There we go. It's all about the boost. So today's terpene, we're going to talk about, when we talk about terpenes, there's a lot of different ones. There's major ones. And then the major, number one is pinene, because it's found in pine forests. But we're breaking them down. Terpenes are found in small amounts, and there's a lot of different ones. And so we're pulling apart the plant and just going to focus on one particular terpene. And so the terpene we chose for today is called nerolidol. It's a sesquiterpene. It's a big word.
Do that 10 times fast.
Sesquiterpene, sesquiterpene. You can't even say it. You knew I was going to try. So it's a sesquiterpene, which means it has three, another big word, isoprene molecules that make up this terpene. So the bottom line is that it's got three molecules that go together, and it's called sesquiterpene. And the bottom line with that, it's known for its calming properties. So when you look at this specific terpene and they're starting to explain it, They have found that it's known for its calming properties, and it's been known to support the immune system by protecting it from harmful microbes, acting as antioxidants, and assisting in cellular repair. So, like we had talked about before, the terpenes become oxidized, resulting in we know as terpenoids. So oxidative stress is when oxygen's hitting something. So this is it just shows that not only does it produce terpenes, but then it has the ability to be an antioxidant to protect cells from oxidative stress. So I thought that was really, really, powerful. It's not one that I've seen or heard frequently. It's in some cannabis strains. Michele, what does it smell like? What does the research say?
It has like a floral smell. Some people describe it as like citrus or apples or like a rose smell.
Yeah.
It can have a woody smell, and it's the primary scent compound of a specific species of orchid in Mexico.
There we go. There we go. So it's a sesquiterpene. It's got these 3 molecules. It's very calming. It supports the immune system. It's a floral smell, citrusy, apples, rose smell, and it's found in some cannabis strains, but it's also found in orange blossom oil, tea tree oil, ginger, jasmine, and lemongrass.
Yep.
So it's also commonly found and used in lotions, perfumes, salves, shampoos, cleansers, and detergents. And this terpene is permitted by the FDA to be used as a flavoring agent, and it's often used in candy and gum. So then when we pulled up Cannakeys, so now we want to kind of bring in a little bit of research and what research is out there. Cannakeys is a really, really great resource and reference to looking at specific cannabinoids, terpenes, and conditions, and it brings up the most recent research about it and breaks it down and really gives good hugs and nugs of information, chunks that we're able to explain. So what we found, and this is, like we said, cannabis science. Cannabis has been around for a while, but the research is just starting to evolve. So on neurolidol and cannabis specifically, there were only 21 studies. And the top studies were on various different organ systems, including the integumentary system, which is our skin, our nervous system, immune system, respiratory system, digestive system, and reproductive system. So 21 total studies on neurolidol found in cannabis. And what were the top conditions that were related to the neurolidol studies?
Okay, so bacterial infections, including staph infections, malaria, skin diseases, oxidative stress, which we just talked about, anxiety, and Parkinson's disease.
Here you go. And so what they found, like we had just said, exactly what she had just said, is the conditions that they looked at is that neurolidol acts as an antibacterial or an antimicrobial, an antifungal. It can treat fungal infections and skin lesions. It can be used as an anti-anxiety agent. It can be sedating, used as a sedative, antioxidant, and anti-cancer. So I like to talk a little bit about antioxidant because sometimes people are like, what is that? What does that mean? And I'm just going to give a quick little example because you hear cannabinoids and terpenes being antioxidants all the time, fruits and vegetables. So this is how it kind of goes with antioxidants. So imagine if you have an apple and 2 apples and you peel them both. And the apple over here, you leave open to air. And the apple over here, you cover in lemon juice. So lemon juice has been known as to be an antioxidant. Limonene is found in lemon juice. So it's an antioxidant. You're covering the apples. You leave them both there for 2 hours. And when you come back, the apple that has been exposed to air is going to be brown. It's because it's the oxidative stress. It's the oxygen that's hitting it. The apple that's sitting there that's been covered in lemon juice is going to look pretty pristine. It's going to still look a little white and not have very many brown spots because the vitamin C, the antioxidant effect of the lemon juice protected the apple. So that's just a quick little example as to how, an example to think of, we like things that are antioxidants because we want to protect ourselves from rusting. That's the way I like to look at it. Each of our individual cells is a universe, right? And we need to protect it in all different ways. So back to the script. Let's review a few studies. Um, I'll start off antibacterial and antimicrobial. So there were two studies. 2003 study in the Journal of Antimicrobial Agents and Chemotherapy reported that neurolidol effects may include the ability to make certain strains of bacteria more susceptible to antibiotics, meaning that neurolidol can make antibiotics work better. That's
Yep.
one. 2007 study in the International Journal of Antimicrobial Agents discovered that neurolidol could be a tool against malaria when used in conjunction with other drugs. So that's another important thing to think about. We're not talking one or the other. We're talking pairing together, boosting the effect, like she'd said, terpene boosters, boosting the effect of other medicines or bridging the gap from what people are not getting from traditional medicines. So how about that study in 2007, antifungal?
Right. So, 2007 study in Biological and Pharma Bulletin found that neurolidol was clinically effective as an antifungal agent for a skin fungus particularly in guinea pigs, which is what the study was done on.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, another study in 2007 published in the International Journal of Pharmaceutics found that neurolidol was skin penetration enhancer of topical agents on animals, which could also benefit skin lesions.
There you go. And so that's important too. So you think about, you have an agent that can actually make other topicals work better. It's another demonstration of bringing cannabis and other pharmaceuticals together to make them work better. I really like that it can
Right.
make
There's
topicals
actually,
work.
I mean, who would think there could actually be synergy between the plants and the pharmaceuticals? But I guess in some cases there is.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love
Um,
it. We're seeing more and more too with adaptogens and other
yes,
types of
my adaptogenic tea. That's part of my regimen now too.
adaptogenic tea. Absolutely. So
Uh,
neurolidol. So now we're going to get into the sedating anti-anxiety agents,
yep. So,
anti-anxiety components of it. So in 2013, a study in the Journal of Neurochemical Research demonstrated that neurolidol had sedative and antioxidant effects on rodents. So here we go. We're studying those mice and rats again, and they found them to be sedating. 2016, a study in the Indian Journal of Pharmacology found that neurolidol also had an anti-anxiety effect on mice. So we're getting down there.
okay.
Another antioxidant study.
Right. So 2016, another study in the Journal of Neuroscience showed that neurolidol had antioxidant properties in rodents and that it protected against oxidative stress and had potential in treating neurological conditions such as Parkinson's disease.
There you go. Those neurodegenerative disorders. Amazing what this
And
plant can do.
also an anti-cancer study in 2017 in the Clinical Pharmacology and Toxicology published a study that demonstrated how cisneurolidol arrested cell growth and induced cell death or apoptosis in liver cancer. How cool was that?
So it is really cool. Yeah, I'm doing a cancer presentation tonight, and we're going to be talking about the anti-cancer properties and how cannabinoids and various terpenes can act as an anti-metastatic, anti-proliferative, apoptosis, and anti-angiogenic to work on cancer cells while at the same time support nourishing all the other cells in other areas of our body. So that is going to be a really great lecture tonight. And in cancer, we know, neurolidol in cannabis and, may be sedating and may provide a tranquilizing effect when experienced through cannabis. That's one of the things too. And so patients that do have cancer, sometimes, this is a really great terpene to be found in specific strains that actually might help them if they do choose to smoke, right? So that's another thing. So when we're talking about strains, we're trying to get away from that name. I think strains are hilarious. I think they're fun. I think that they provide a rich history. But the issue with strains is what it's lacking in information is the combination of CBD to THC to CBG to the other cannabinoids.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about strains and you think sativa, I always think uplifting, which is uplifting, let's get going, high vibe, let's go to it. But at the same time, you know, if there's other components in it, if there's other CBG, CBC, all the other cannabinoids, it doesn't take into effect. Those names don't take into effect. But nerolidol is included in multiple different strains. And a lot of these strains too, that we're going to talk about, is a combination, if you looked at the strain list, a combination of sativa, hybrid, and indica. So for the people that are new, that are watching, I'll just kind of try to bottom line it, is strains were classified as sativa, hybrid, and indica based on effect and the type of terpenes that were found in it. But now we're finding, as we start to evolve a little bit in the space of science, we need to break it down even further. So we're looking at chemotypes. So chemotypes is how much CBD and THC is specifically in that chemovar. So chemotype 1 is more THC than CBD. Chemotype 2 is equal amounts of THC and CBD. Chemotype 3 is more CBD than THC. And they're actually chemotype 4, they just started talking about. But anyway, so the bottom line is that we're looking at multiple different things. So when you are out there and you're looking at labels, certificate of analysis, and particular strain names, you might see nerolidol included in some of these strains. Jack Herer, Blue Dream, Black Lime Reserve, Chemdog, Island Sweet Skunk, Skywalker OG. So it's interesting. Jack Herer and Blue Dream are really high in THC, which also may enhance the sedative effects of nerolidol or enhance the psychoactive effect of THC. So I just love how there is so much therapeutic potential, and how, the terpenoids and cannabinoids work together, and specifically how all the activities, everything that we do or don't do in our lives as in regards to health and wellness, also affects how the plant works in our body. Are you there, Michele?
I'm here.
All right. I'm going to take a quick peek here. Can hear and see you both. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. We're winding down. Tiffany, Annette, Carrie Lee, Libby, you guys, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you guys coming by. I'm just going to read Tiffany's question. So when we buy cannabis in a dispensary, it's easy to know the strain and the most prominent terpenes. However, when you buy CBD, you have no idea. Is that when it would be beneficial to add isolated terpenes? I'm just going to say I would not add anything. I would look and ask for a certificate of analysis. There are a lot of companies like Michele. Give an example of Green Compass Global. So, your company has what's listed in it, including the terpenes.
Right.
So if you don't know, here's the thing. If you don't know what's listed in it, it makes me nervous to add more stuff to it. First of all,
right.
So when you're shopping.
My recommendation, so this is a bottle of one of our products on the company that I share. If you can't scan the COA right away or go right to the website and see it, I'm not sure I would be buying that product. But that's a way you could identify right there before you're purchasing. You could scan it right there and know what's in that bottle before you buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I know our COAs are 5 pages long. I mean, there's a ton of stuff in there. We include everything. So that's, that is an option if you find the right product.
Yeah. And that's what we're, at. Here we go. I'm going to plug it. The Green Nurse Holistic Caring Community. We have a Green Nurse approved CBD marketplace. So what we're doing as nurses is we are vetting products. We are evaluating them. We are looking at everything. Where is the cannabis or the hemp grown? Where is it processed? Where is it extracted? The different labs, looking at everything. Is it made? Is it from flower? We want to look at the flow criteria, which is, cannabinoids being extracted from flowering strains of hemp or cannabis, not just the stems, the stalks, the meat and potatoes. We want the meat and potatoes. Lab tested for purity and potency, cannabinoids, terpenes. We want to know everything that's in that, residual solvents, contaminants, and then organic practices. How are farmers, growing? How are they taking care of it? How are they cultivating their plants? And then we want to see as much whole plant as possible in the product line. And we also want to know, how is the company run? Who owns the company? Do they have any philanthropic practices? Do they have a nonprofit that they support? So we look at everything when we're vetting products. And so that's another reason why you need to come to the Green Nurse Holistic Caring community. It is a community. We're there for you. It is off social media. It's private. It's uncensored. And there's a lot of free benefits. Free introductory course to cannabis, free support group for patients, free patient portal. Listen, we're all patients, including nurses. And we've got a book club. You don't even need to own the book. And all of our podcasts are there. And we're creating more and more programs. So that leads into tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, I'm having the Vice President of Program Development on, Tasha Jackson, the lovely Tasha Jackson.
Awesome.
What we're going to be talking about is the newest program that she's created with the Weed Mom. So Danielle Simone Lebrand has written a book called The Weed Mom, and it is a great book. And so what we've done is we've come together with her. We're going to have a book club, and we're going to introduce this program that Danielle's created and Tasha has put together. So that's going to be a really great interview. So the community has benefits. We want you guys to come and join us, come and hang out. Green Nurse approved products and services. There's providers from all over the globe. The community isn't just for nurses. It's for patients. It's for people. It's for people that are kind of curious, and it's a safe environment, and we're there for you. So come under our umbrella. Anyways, so I don't know about you, Michele, but I know I'm going to be growing in health today. I'm going to go water my garden, which is me.
I'll be going out in nature. I'm going to take the dog for a hike this morning before I do anything else.
Good. Yep. So this has been great. Thank you all for joining us this morning. We hope you have a fabulous day. It is Tuesday, September 14th. And you all have to remember what it's all about. It's about living your best life and helping others do the same. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.